Allons-y. For the shot. We're just doing it for them. Because they'll just see and then it'll cut. We can fix it in post.
Noted. Demon. This is both very legit looking and very not legit looking at the same time. There's no difference here. Oh, it's video. Dang it.
Yeah, they're all going to be videos.
Every time.
Is this monologue on my part?
No, I'll be here.
Okay. Because I guess this was originally supposed to be a solo trip where I practiced going on the motorcycle and then scooping up lava. In a teaspoon.
Yeah, and I kiboshed both of those.
Yeah, you, well, no, I squashed the motorcycle part by not really verifying that the company existed.
Sure.
So we'll share the blame on that one. And, yeah, for the most part, you put the pin on me bringing the teaspoon and scooping up the teaspoon of lava.
What time is the shipment due?
Good, but you didn't mention where we are.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Welcome to Iceland.
Yeah, we're in Iceland. Yeah, solo motorcycle trip, then duo motorcycle trip.
Right, I invited myself on your solo motorcycle trip because you told me about the trip while Ludwig and Reeves were doing and publishing their Japan trip, which had me way more excited about doing a motorcycle trip than I usually am. So I was in a especially susceptible position at the exact right time for you to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this international solo motorcycle trip type of fun adventure thing, and I was just like Ludwig?
Yeah, and bros doing bro things felt... I always travel alone, and so that felt like a cool thing to happen.
Yeah.
So
I didn't count burgers, but I did count Cokes.
yeah, burgers were a little more inconsistent. Some days we had pizza, but you always had a Coke.
How many days did we have pizza?
Oh, we had pizza one day. The thing is, like, it was broken up. Like,
Yeah.
we had a variety of things, but you always had a Coke.
Every other meal was a burger.
Do you still like burgers?
Yeah, I had a burger today.
Hell yeah. D93?
D93. I got carrot cake and Coca-Cola for breakfast. It didn't sound as decadent when I ordered it as it looks in front of me now. Do you want any cake? I'm good. All right. So the motorcycles were very expensive to rent. And even before booking any of this, just in doing research ahead of time, it was Ayusha's idea that we get one motorcycle and one car and switch off.
To clarify, that was a joke. And then we were like, oh, that actually makes such good financial sense.
It was Ayusha's joke, that I immediately fell in love with, a lot based on the idea that we were for sure going to get rained on at some point for some amount. No amount of getting lucky with weather, which I tend to get quite lucky with weather when I travel. No, there was no way that I was going to be able to hold off 10 straight days of rain in Iceland in the fall. And so the car, instead of a car and a bike instead of 2 bikes, gave us a spot to be dry just in case. This was the beginning of you having traction trouble with the motorcycle boots.
Yeah.
So we went from you being on 1 bike to us being on 2 bikes to us being on a bike and a car. And then when we got there, we couldn't find the bike, so we went to the 2 of us being in a car.
Yeah, to clarify, we couldn't find the business at all. No location number was out of service. I'm pretty sure they existed at one point. Just, I don't think they took down their site after they closed up shop.
Yeah.
So
That makes the most sense to me.
which good on the site infrastructure for staying live without any sort of maintenance, I guess. That's
Yeah, the sysadmins are the real heroes of this story.
I'm super glad you suggested. Like, I was like, oh, lava cave, super skippable, and that ended up being one of my favorite things since you.
The lava cave was awesome.
Yeah.
I have a 34-minute uninterrupted video of the entire thing that like couldn't go into this video, but it was really cool. And the guy giving the tour, Darius, right, because it reminded me of Marius from Les Mis. He was excellent.
Yeah, he's great.
I think he was looking for a little bit more engagement from us, but I was just happy to stand quietly and listen to him talk, and then when he wasn't talking, stand quietly and listen to the cave make cave noises.
Yeah, the bacteria in that cave, good vibes.
Bacteria was cool.
That was sparkly.
The stalagmites that weren't stalagmites were cool.
The lava drips, yeah.
The deep down when we turned off the lights was cool. It's good stuff. Good soup. Lava is rock soup.
Okay, this is the thing. Like, the nature of soup is something that I think about way more than I think I should. And I don't necessarily disagree with you. You mean magma or lava?
Both? I remember the moment that I pushed the mic a little bit further in to the connection. I was like, oh, I hope that just popped out. And everything before then is kind of garbage, and everything after that is pretty good. I mean, they're good mics. I shouldn't wear the mic while I'm eating.
Oh, is there a lot of chewing noises?
It picks up the chewing
Nice.
well.
Nice. Some people pay good money for that. ASMR kind of.
Right. There are a lot of directions this channel can go. I'm not saying I'll never go that direction. I'm saying I'm currently not exploring that direction.
Next video idea, slurping noises, just really.
Look, someone wants to sponsor that. Someone wants to put this channel on the map for me to make slurping noises. Oh yeah, this was where you could see the
sticker, yeah. I'm having a blast.
A lot of pig options that I couldn't dive into, but
That is fair.
the chicken strips are very good. And I'm a child, so I'm pretty happy about it.
Also got a ton of candy. This is the correct place to get candy.
Mine look like Whoppers. There's a canyon we're gonna try and check out. It might be fogged in, it might be closed, it might be dark. It might be filled in with bubbles. That's not gonna make sense outside of our conversation earlier. You're literally the only person in the entire world that could get that joke.
Sorry,
if you forgot, then I'm just joking with myself.
I'm working on it.
All right, that's fine. Move on, scrap it.
I'm working.
We listened to quite a bit of Ologies by Ali Ward while we were driving, which I often listen to when I'm driving around town. I really like it as driving podcast, but for long distance driving podcast, it's not quite energetic enough for me. And so for some of the later nights, we were switching to Lonely Island.
Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, stuff that I can really sing along to.
Yeah, I was really impressed with your knowledge of pretty much every single lyric in the entire album.
The plan is to head east, well, south off the peninsula and then east, to go to town.
Yeah, the largest town in North Iceland, which is Akurey.
I don't think we've actually tried to say any of the names
I don't think we've
on camera before.
I had such a hard time, getting that bun, like the piece of bread. It required like 4 people to worth of assistance to get that one piece of bread.
Oh, poor Ayush. I have been on a soft serve kick for a while, so he very graciously added it to the list. He had picked this place out special. They said they opened at noon. We got there. They opened at 2. Defeat.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at the time, but this was the cherry on the ice cream.
Oh, right. You were getting emails from back home that were not
Yeah.
soothing. So we walked around the botanical gardens and got some flowers. It was a lovely time.
This was an exceptionally meaningful side quest, and I'm glad we got to do this.
This was maybe my favorite single, action day. Objective day. We got soft serve.
It took a while, but honestly, I'm pretty stoked.
It's firmer than I'm used to. It's got a real stiffness to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot less air, more ice cream.
And very cold.
As for the lists, I think it was supposed to be that we worked on it together, but I'd come with a template, and then I think we just got distracted long enough where I just had my rough copy of the list of objectives that we were gonna do, and you were like, yeah.
So Ayush, sometime around when we were deciding we were going to do one car, one motorcycle, specifically told me he didn't want it to be his trip that I tagged along on. He wanted it to be our trip. And I said, yes, let me know what you need from me. But I thought that my favorite way to travel is to tag along. I'm so delighted to just do what's being done and not have to plan stuff. And then pretty soon after that, you had a full list of objectives from the internet to hit while we were driving around the major loop. And I had a couple things that I wanted to touch, but yeah, overall, your thing sounded good. Adding a lot to it sounded busy and starting to get into stressful.
Yeah.
And so we basically went off of Ayush's list of the top 100 things to do in Iceland.
We got most of them done, to be honest.
We skipped very few things.
That was pretty incredible.
We did skip Hot Crack, which was a recommendation from a friend of mine that she just gave me GPS coordinates and said, It was a cool hot crack, but the day we were driving past it, it was pouring, and she had warned me that there was bushwhacking, so we would have had to go up into mud for a while, and I just didn't have it in me.
We got a hostel. It's 4 bunks per room, but it doesn't look very crowded. We might just have the room to ourselves. There's showers and a kitchen. Ayusha's excited about hot water. I know, that was the main thing I wanted to do on this trip, and I've only experienced hot water once. And it was about 6 inches of hot water.
We also needed to do laundry pretty desperately, and I think there was a laundromat. We thought there was gonna be laundry in the hostel that we found, but the laundromat was actually in town and closed at some time, and so we couldn't. Yeah, I regret not. You only had 2 things that you wanted to do in this.
I mean,
Like added to the list, and I feel so terrible that
No.
we didn't get to do hot crack.
hot crack is a great reason to go back to Iceland another time.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
We got pizza for dinner. They charged him for half a vegetarian and me for 5 cheeses because they missed the decimal place. So it was like $160 for 1 pizza, but they fixed it. But we're still not used to the Icelandic currency, so they gave us the receipt. We both were like, that seems like a lot. And then they came over and were like, we charged you so much money. They fixed it. It was great. And then tomorrow, we're hoofing it a little bit. We're covering some ground.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a long day. We're trying to take our half-day lead and turn it into a 1-day lead.
Oh, right.
And yeah, so basically covering just a little bit more than what I scheduled for a day. That'll give us some breathing room when we're back in Reykjavik.
And I'm doing whatever he says. This guy.
On that note, I'm really stoked I was able to.
Oh, sorry, what?
I'm stoked I was able to bring you to the thermal pools with me.
Yes, the thermal pools were nice. I talked to some pretty girls.
Well, I was impressed, so
Oh.
mess with them.
Oh. I faced my fears, and Ayush was proud of me. The fear was women. Oh, wait, you're down here. The fear was women.
I figure I can drive to get you to coffee because I'm preloaded.
Okay.
And then, I mean, normally when I say long driving day, I mean over 10 hours. So 4 will feel long.
In comparison, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be too bad.
I don't either. 4 is very manageable.
If you wanted to go in a boiling mud pool, I'd go in. Yeah.
No, I don't think these are ones we can go in. I think.
Not with that attitude.
Well, okay, we can go into these boiling mud pools once.
Which is I'd only ever want to go in once.
How many times do you want to come out of the boiling mud pool?
That's thinking about the future. That's just anxiety right there. You can't plan everything, Mr. List Man.
That's true. I don't have getting out of the mud pool on this list.
Mom was desperately trying to get me to define irony for her, and I was explaining that there's nuance, but she's like, but just give me one clear example. And it's tough to do off the top of your head. So I Googled it, and people were saying the Titanic being advertised as an unsinkable ship. That's a really clean example of irony, and it's because the narrative callback is relevant. That's what people miss when they think something's ironic and it isn't actually. If the Titanic had been advertised as the biggest ship ever and then it sank, That's not ironic because its sinking doesn't directly tie back.
So anyway, Apollo's an unlosable jacket.
Apollo, the unlosable jacket. We have our first rescue mission. I left Apollo back somewhere. I don't think it's at the pizza shop. I think I had him at the pizza shop, and then we ate dinner back at the hostel. And so hopefully it's just on my chair back in the dining area. Otherwise, I have my motorcycle jacket. I wouldn't necessarily have to buy a new jacket, but I like Apollo. I want him back. We're gonna go check the chair and then ask for Lost and Found, see if we can find him. Backtracking! Because I don't listen. We got Apollo. He was right on the coat hook, which is not where I left him. But they're cleaning up because it's after checkout hours. So they hung him up for me, and I grabbed him, and I am complete again. I love this jacket. I haven't had it for very long, but it's mine. We belong together. Anyway, I usually had a sick zinger, but I wasn't recording, so now you just don't get to know. You should have come to Iceland with us. Why aren't you here? Dear viewer, your fault. Bye.
It was the only clever thing I said this trip, and I don't remember what it was.
I also don't remember what you said. I'm sure it was an absolute zinger.
I was very proud of it.
Only a little bit racist.
Probably.
Maybe.
I loved the sheep here. They just looked so unbothered. Around this time, I liked your perspective about training. What does it mean to train?
Oh yeah, we had a very drawn out discussion. That was a long walk to get to the basalt. We had a long discussion about what it means to improve. I also really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah.
I did think I had lost you a little bit. I thought we were going to have to like have some quiet time and like unstep on each other's toes potentially. But no, worked out fine.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a very productive discussion.
The only other time that I thought like, oh, maybe I've snapped at Ayush is much later on the last day when I was trying to tell you that we were done filming and I wanted you to cut. You just weren't doing
I just did not understand what you were talking about at all. I remember what you were talking about.
And I didn't yell, but I like, no, I'm like, we're done, please stop. And you were like, oh. And then I was like, okay, that might have been a little harsh, but we were fine. It was a good 10 days. There are not too many people in the world that I could spend 10 days straight with and come away and just be like, okay, I'll see you when I see you. Like, let me know when you want to hang out.
Yeah, agreed.
The multi-circled Venn diagram of when it made sense to put up the drone was tough because it can't get wet, it can't be very windy, it can't be in a national forest or national park, it can't be in a city, and I don't want to do it when there's a bunch of people around. And so there were a good dozen or two spots where we pulled off and like, can we drone here? And we'd have 4 or 5 out of the 5 or 6, and it would just be drizzling, or the wind would be a little too high, or there'd be other people parked there, and it's like, nope. So we didn't end up getting a lot of drone shots, but the ones we did are good, except the last one. Wait, hold on, let me finish this. Say it was the lot of driving that we thought it was going to be. that stretch in the middle through the mountains on the dirt with the winding, with the way up and the way down, that was raining the whole way, that would have sucked on a motorcycle.
Yeah, that would have been inconvenient.
And like we could have gone around on one along the coast. We looked that up. It was an extra hour of driving.
Like, admittedly, that was the original plan,
Yeah.
but yes, either way.
That
was a gorgeous drive, though.
It was really pretty.
And it should be like that.
Today was great.
No, yeah. Today was great.
Set up. I set up the tent is set up, and then I have my bivvy inside it, and then my sleeping bag inside of that, and it has just started to rain. You can't really tell, but the wind really was howling for a little bit in there. This was one of the nights that Smallland uploaded Run and Bun, and I watched that in the tent. It's a good night.
I think it was rainy and windy enough that I was like, yo, I can make space in the car if you wanna join me. And you're like, no.
I was so comfy. This was one of the comfiest nights for me.
Good morning. How was your car sleep?
Oh, this is directed at me and not the audience. I think I prefer the trunk.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I got a shot at you back there. The second night I opened the door, I thought you had left, but you were just like slithered back in the trunk like a lizard.
Yeah, the trunk is very ergonomically shaped for like a passenger in the back.
That sounds like 2 nights.
No, we get to Reykjavik we get to Reykjavik,
Yeah.
sleep the night. National Park, sleep the night. Bike, sleep the night, leave.
Gotcha.
We saw whale bones. The whale bones were so big and so solid that I genuinely thought they were like a carving out of driftwood or something. Like I thought they were a sculpture, but they weren't. That's just what whale bones are like.
They didn't have that connective tissue in the middle that was still spongy. I would have, like, yeah, someone just made a cast.
I'm on a night train, ready to crash and burn. Oh, I'll never learn. I'm on a night train. I'm on a night train.
And I thought this spongy tissue was like plastic that someone was like, oh yeah, it would look better if there was like tendons or whatever.
Nope,
But
touched it. Very squishy.
yeah, I can't imagine what finding whale bones would have been like back in the day before, globalization.
Of the ones that we have here, which of this is
Alright. I'm having fun.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I had ever seen floating ice before this, even having lived in Alaska.
Definitely didn't see it in Texas. This was something.
There was a woman taking, glam shots, and she was in effectively no clothing, walking around on the icebergs. That seemed very cold.
I'd never had such second-hand pain from watching another person before.
That was a little much even for me.
Yeah.
This canyon was maybe the prettiest thing we saw the whole time.
I agree. And this was something that I had sort of like rated really low on the list. I'm like, yeah, we'll just walk in, take a couple shots. And this ended up being...
It was considerably more hiking than most of the other places.
Yeah.
But just an excellent canyon. The mossiness on the volcanic rock of like the craggy, very Icelandic. It's a good stop. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, maybe my favorite stop.
And then Vik. I think the best sunset of the trip.
Yeah.
And also puppies. I think Vik was my single favorite, like, place. If I was gonna, like, be somewhere again, I would want to go back to Vik. I just really liked.
It had like that. Yeah, I wanted to do the thing. Like, people always have these stories about going to hostels and then meeting people and making friends. I'm like, I guess I want to try that.
Oh, that's why you chatted with the guys outside.
Yeah, they were a little like aggressive about like, no, you're gonna join me. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, if someone's legitimately asking me to do friend stuff.
How you doing? Honestly, great. That was, as it turns out, beds are slightly more comfortable than the back seat, which was news to me.
One of my minor goals while we were there was to have someone speak Icelandic to me. After the first 2 days, with no one ever opening a conversation in Icelandic to us, I started to suspect that it may have had something to do with Ayush's pigmentation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I saw another brown.
We saw 2 black guys the whole time.
Wasn't it the same black guy?
No, it wasn't.
I thought you said that was it was a security guard who was taking the place of the bartender, and then he came back.
Oh, yes, that was the same black guy who changed clothes. But no, there was a second black guy at the end of the trip. The one time that someone did open a conversation with me in Icelandic, it was a cashier, and Ayush wasn't with me. So I got to check off my box, and I got to feel slightly validated that Ayush standing next to me was a nerf. To be fair, though, when you're standing next to me, I speak English to you. When I'm by myself, I'm not speaking.
Yeah, I think also, even if I was Icelandic colored, I was not Icelandic dressed. I feel like us both sort of walking in with flip-flops everywhere, and me in like a flannel shirt when it's raining was kind of like a, yeah, you're really not.
Yeah.
We got the hotel room.
Sorry, that was bad timing.
We got the hotel room. It ended up being only like a little bit more than the hostel. And now we can just dump stuff here. Oh, here. Stuff. And we'll, it's locked behind a door, which is nice. I gotta go for my run. Ayush was talking about he said a couple days ago when something happened, and I was like, dude, that was last night. It's been a long trip. It's kind of nice to be sort of back in the city.
Yeah.
Good sleep. Get some coffee food on the way out of town. I kind of want KFC for breakfast. I had originally wanted to go to a McDonald's here to see how it was different, but they don't have McDonald's here anymore. They, what was the word you used? Exterminated. Eradicated them. The last one left in 2009.
Oh, all the churches and houses were jet black.
There were a lot of jet black buildings. As part of my training for Rainier, I started running every day last December. And I really thought going on Rainier would be the ultimate of that. And I took the 2 days that I was on Rainier off, and I took one rest day after that, and then I got right back into it. And so I run at least 1 mile every day. Honestly, doing a trip like this, or some of the other big hikes that I've done, feel more like a challenge than anything else. The hardest days for me to run are not like the day we flew there or the day I did St. Helens. It's just like random Tuesdays where I'm really not feeling it. It was mostly slow miles. There's a lot of really chill, easy 1 mile runs while we were there. Except the evening we got back to Reykjavik, and it was like 10 p.m. when I finally ran, and it was cold and dark and windy and a little rainy. And you know, running makes heat. If you're cold, run faster.
Yeah, I really wasn't envious of you that day. I was really happy being in the car at that time.
The all thing has come up twice in things that I've watched or listened to since we were in Iceland. One was an episode of Myths and Legends, so
Makes sense.
kind of expectable. One was just a Northern Lion clip where he was doing some trivia thing. He was like, I know what the all thing is. He got the answer right. He's like, you think I'm not cultured? That's how he talks. You chat. I chat. I, you, I. That's what he sounds like to me. Northern Lion is one of those creators that I watch his shorts when they come up, but I don't actually watch any of his content.
I think same.
Yeah. Little dance. Little wave. Little thumbs up. Lucas got me Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance for my birthday, and I am a very slow reader. I'm in the habit of reading one chapter a night maximum, which ends up being not nearly that much. And so I brought the book on this trip to take a chunk out of it and hopefully finish it. I got very close. The only reason I didn't finish on the trip was because I was finishing it on the plane ride home, and they turned the cabin lights off and the sun set when I had like 8 pages left, and I just could not see. And I'm not the type of person that will turn on the overhead lights. I think that's unneighborly. I don't think it's against the rules. I don't think the rules capture all of societal norms. Anyway, that's the book that I read while we were in Iceland, and it would have been slightly more fitting if we had been on motorcycles, but technically, according to book, we should have been on the same motorcycle because it's about him and his son rides on the back of his motorcycle.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of motorcycle maintenance and Zen, it was a very fitting book to have on this trip, which is not why Lucas got it. He just said that it reminded him of me, and I thought that was very sweet. It is a very sweet book.
Weirdly, when we were driving through the weather or riding through that weather at the end,
Yeah.
on our motorcycles, I thought about the line in the book, like right at the beginning, when he was riding through the super windy part, and I was like, wait, what did he do? And then I followed that exact advice to do it, which was like to hunch down, lower your profile, tilt into the wind. And I was like, oh, it worked so well.
I also thought about the author while we were riding bikes. It's a good book. It's a good time.
Good advice.
Good recommendation. This was the lake that we put the drone up at, that we are so far out in the middle of nowhere, and these two English guys show up and park right next to us, just stare at the drone while we fly it, and then the wind absolutely took the drone away. I'm completely losing it here, and then I bail and just put it down on the road to not lose it into the lake. And it worked. It was fine. It was a little bit of foreshadowing that Johannes and I disagree on what strong wind means.
I could not be happier that we didn't bike around the whole island, that we took the car. That was really fun. For the first 4/5 of it, when we were going moderate speeds in mild weather. And then for the return, we were on the highway, so it's 90 kilometers per hour. The wind picked up and was perpendicular to our travel. The rain picked up. I lost my right mirror, and I couldn't hear Johannes anymore. So I couldn't see great, couldn't hear great, all of a sudden.
My radio wasn't on the whole ride back.
Yeah, that part was tough. We just went a little slow. We were going 80 in the right lane, and that was okay. But we made it. It was okay. And the rest of it was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, you see, it was exactly the opposite for me. My hands are still cramped from how hard I was crushing the handlebars.
Yeah, so Ayush has a street bike that I practiced on a little bit before we came here, and I have a dirt bike that he practiced on a little bit before we got here.
Yeah, I dropped the bike in the sand twice. Johannes only noticed once. I picked it up the first time. That was very embarrassing.
I did notice in their release form, it seemed like
Any damages to the bike you pay for
we
100%.
were fully liable.
Yeah.
So we didn't break the bikes. We didn't break ourselves. I had fun. I'm glad we did it the way we did.
Yeah.
I will not be riding on street again anytime soon. I have a pretty hard and fast rule against riding motorcycles on streets. This was like a very adventure-y exception. And now we're going back to not doing that. I am really excited to get back out on the dirt bike though.
Yeah, I have exactly the opposite conclusion, but that's cool. So that was harrowing.
None of my friends have dirt bikes and I don't like going alone because I'm a big on the buddy system. And so I end up taking people out into the woods with the dirt bike and the truck, and then one of us drives the truck and one of us takes the dirt bike, and that's not nearly as fun. And Ayush was one of the friends that I was hoping to convince to get a dirt bike. And this is seeming like this was antithetical to that.
It was a little counterproductive for that specific goal. Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's okay. But that's okay.
Also, my dirt bike's so much smaller. So much smaller.
I actually, to be honest, to be fair, I agree.
Yeah.
Your smaller one, like smaller dirt bike, felt a lot better than this.
These were bogging way down.
Yeah.
Big old heavy rear ends with flat, smooth tires in volcanic sand, just digging a hole.
If I slipped on this, I drop the bike. If I slipped on yours, I can catch myself and just pick up the bike,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
The places I like going are more like the last stretch of off-road that we had here.
the last stretch of off-road was nice. Yeah,
The last stretch of off-road where it was like packed volcanic gravel. It might have even been groomed at some point.
yeah.
Where you like, and I've always said this, dirt biking for me is it's not an extreme sport, it's meditative. I want to go like 35 miles an hour on very gently winding roads through the forest or, Iceland, and just like have a very chill time, which some of this was. And then all of a sudden it wasn't right at the end.
Yeah. You said the first 2/5 or whatever were the best part? And for me-
4/5.
Really?
Yeah, everything
Oh.
except returning on the highway was excellent.
Oh, I think the last part of dirt biking on the smoother packed sand,
That was the best part.
that was by far the best part.
Yeah.
And then the riding in the wind I enjoyed it, but I understand why that was.
That's bizarre to me. Originally, Ayush was gonna go motorcycle in Iceland, and then I added me to it, and then we subtracted a lot of the motorcycling, but Ayush still ended up motorcycling in Iceland. People come to Iceland for the Mexican food, right?
I mean, it was one of the better things I've had so far.
Yeah. We looked for Icelandic food, but between no meat and not liking fish and not eating pig, the soups were really good,
They were. The 2 soups I've had?
and it was hard to find much else.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could have hunted down puffin, but I just don't care.
Say puffin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that on a menu.
Yeah, I think it's like an oddity thing.
Johannes was talking about a horse and a whale.
I was told to not eat the horse.
Well, Johannes eats it all the time.
And I would actually avoid whale for the same reason as pig. Whales land above the line for me.
Yeah.
Whales, dolphins, octopi. Yeah. So, considering that we were slated to have essentially rain the entire week,
Yeah.
I feel like I pulled pretty hard with my weather mojo.
Yeah, your mojo did incredible work.
The one thing was the absolute torrential storm that we had to bike back through.
Hey, at least it wasn't while we're on the trail.
We weren't in the mud.
Yeah.
My cameras died, so no one can prove that it wasn't literally a hurricane.
Yeah.
And, I mean, for the content, it does make the story a little better.
Yeah.
So, I think all told, again, not
I'm not saying it's necessarily I always get the best weather. I always get the best weather for me. And getting to camp in the rain one night, getting to brag about how awful the trip back, not awful, how tough the trip back on the motorcycles was. Both of those add up to, even though we got a little wet, a little soaked to the core. It was good.
You did good work.
I'm excited to get to tell people we didn't go to the Blue Lagoon, because that's the only thing anyone's gonna ask. They're just like, no, didn't care.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It looks exactly like the one we went to, just like bigger.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Except ours smelled like eggs.
Does the Blue Lagoon not smell like eggs?
Oh, actually, I don't know.
What do they do with the egg smell?
They bottle it up.
Can you buy it?
Oh, I don't know. I was just joking, but that would be a sick thing to bring back for your friends.
Huh.
Okay, having to sit in the airports for 4 hours, both times, was pain in the ass.
Yeah. The way out, it was my fault. I got us there way too early, and we just had to sit around and wait for the check bag, or the bag check to open. The way back, it just worked out with returning the rental car and checking the bags that we had to be there early, and it wouldn't have made sense to try to do anything outside of sitting around. I will say, on the way back, sitting in Reykjavik, I had a great time because I watched The Secret Life of Walter Mitty and then the first 2/3 of Eurovision Song Contest, Something, Fire and Ice. And I mean, it was a lovely way to cap off an Iceland trip. It was just a really nice celebration of Icelandic beauty. We didn't make it to Husavik, which my mom is going to be disappointed in because she loves that movie.
Oh.
It was so far out of the way, though. It would have added
Yeah.
6 hours of driving.
Yeah, that would have been very inconvenient. That was one of the sacrifices we had to make in order to...
Yeah, that was a half-day detour that we did not have time for. And then we chased the sunset the whole way home. So the sun was up for the whole flight, and then it set as we were getting to Seattle.